The sharp buzz of the cash register made Henry Bradley wince as he glanced down at the price tag one more time. His daughter's graduation dress, a modest blue number with delicate lace trim, would cost him 3 days' wages. He rubbed his calloused hands together, counting out crumpled bills from his wallet, while his 8-year-old daughter Lily pressed her face against a nearby mirror, twirling in a dress that reminded her of the princesses she loved. "Daddy, do I look pretty?" Lily's eyes sparkled as she spun around, the dress billowing slightly. Her small hands smoothed down the fabric with careful reverence. Henry's heart squeezed in his chest. Since his wife's death 2 years ago, these moments of pure joy from his daughter had become his entire world. "You look beautiful, sweetheart, like a real princess." "But can we afford it?" Lily whispered, suddenly serious in that way children can be when they've overheard too many adult conversations about money. Henry hesitated, glancing at the stack of bills in his hand. The rent was due in a week, and the truck needed repairs before he could take on more construction jobs. But the look on Lily's face, that mixture of hope and resignation, made the decision for him. "Of course we can. It's your special day." His voice was firm, hiding the worry that gnawed at him. As Henry counted out the bills a third time, he became aware of a woman standing nearby, pretending to examine a silk scarf, but clearly watching their exchange. She was dressed simply but elegantly in a tailored cream blouse and dark trousers, her chestnut hair falling in soft waves around her shoulders. When their eyes met briefly, he noted they were a striking shade of green. Sophia Valenti had been having a terrible day. The quarterly board meeting had run 3 hours over schedule. 2 vice presidents had nearly come to blows over the new product line, and her executive assistant had just quit after receiving a better offer. She had ducked into this modest department store simply to escape the barrage of emails and calls, not to actually shop. Yet the scene unfolding before her had stopped her in her tracks. The father counting out wrinkled bills, the little girl in the too big graduation dress, their hushed conversation about affordability. It reminded her of her own childhood, of her father working double shifts to buy her a dress for her first piano recital. Sophia moved closer, pretending interest in the scarves display. "Dad, are you sure?" the little girl asked again, her voice small but serious. "I promised you a special dress for your kindergarten graduation, didn't I? And Bradleys always keep their promises." The father's voice was warm, but Sophia caught the slight tension in his jaw as he counted the money again. Before Sophia could think better of it, she approached the counter. "Excuse me," she said to the clerk. "I'd like to use my store discount today." She pulled out her store credit card, a premium one she rarely used, but kept for emergencies. "I'm having a wonderful day and would love to share some good fortune." The father straightened immediately, his expression shifting from surprise to wariness. "That's very kind, but we couldn't possibly, please," Sophia said quickly. "I'm a store card member and today they're offering double points. I need to make a purchase anyway for the points, and this would actually help me out." It was a blatant lie, but she delivered it with the same confidence she used in boardroom negotiations. Henry Bradley studied the woman carefully. His first instinct was to refuse. His pride wouldn't allow him to accept charity, especially from a beautiful stranger who had clearly overheard their financial discussion. But something in her expression seemed genuinely earnest, not pitying. "Dad, what's happening?" Lily tugged at his sleeve, confused by the exchange. Henry knelt down to her level. "This nice lady has a special card that gets her store points, and she's offering to help us today." Sophia extended her hand to the little girl. "I'm Sophia. What's your name?" "I'm Lily." "I'm graduating from kindergarten next week," the girl announced proudly. "This is my dad. He builds houses." "I'm a construction foreman," Henry clarified, finally extending his hand. "Henry Bradley, and while I appreciate the gesture, I can't accept, please, Mr. Bradley." "Consider it my graduation gift to Lily." Sophia smiled at the little girl. When I was about your age, I had a blue dress for my piano recital. It made me feel brave when I was nervous." Henry recognized the sincerity in her voice, but still hesitated. "I don't know." "Dad," Lily whispered loudly, "she's being nice. You always say we should be nice back." That drew a reluctant smile from Henry. "You're using my own lessons against me now," the saleswoman, who had been watching the exchange with growing impatience, interjected. "Sir, there's a line forming." "Will you be purchasing the dress today?" Henry looked at the carefully counted bills in his hand, at his daughter's hopeful expression, and finally at the kind stranger with the gentle green eyes. His shoulders relaxed slightly. "Yes, we will." Then to Sophia, "Thank you, Miss Valenti." "Sophia Valenti. And please, it's my pleasure." As the saleswoman processed the transaction with Sophia's card, applying a substantial discount Henry hadn't known existed, Lily chatted happily about her upcoming graduation ceremony and how she would be reciting a poem about butterflies. Sophia listened attentively, asking questions and complimenting the girl's memory when she recited part of the poem. Henry watched them interact, struck by how naturally Sophia spoke to Lily, not with the condescending tone many adults used with children, but with genuine interest. It had been a long time since anyone besides him had shown such care for his daughter's thoughts. When the transaction was complete, Henry insisted on getting Sophia's contact information. "I need to repay you properly," he explained, his tone making it clear this wasn't negotiable. Sophia hesitated before writing her personal number on the back of what looked like a business card. She flipped it over before handing it to him, but not before Henry caught a glimpse of an embossed corporate logo. "Please don't worry about it," Sophia said. "Maybe you can buy me coffee sometime instead." "Coffee," Henry agreed, pocketing the card. "At minimum." As they prepared to leave, Lily insisted on giving Sophia a hug. "Thank you for helping with my princess dress," she said, wrapping her small arms around Sophia's waist. Sophia returned the hug, something warming inside her chest that had been cold for longer than she cared to admit. "You're going to be the most beautiful graduate, Lily." Watching them from a few steps away, Henry felt an unexpected tightness in his throat. There was something about the way Sophia hugged his daughter gentle but secure that reminded him of how his late wife used to hold Lily. "Ready to go, princess?" he asked when they separated. Lily nodded, then looked back at Sophia. "Are you coming to my graduation?" "It's next Thursday at 2:00 at Pinewood Elementary." Henry began to apologize for his daughter's directness, but Sophia spoke first. "I would love to, if that's okay with your dad," she said, looking at Henry with a question in her eyes. Henry found himself nodding before he'd fully processed the implications. "We'd be honored to have you there." As they parted ways in the store parking lot, Henry watched Sophia walk to a modest sedan rather than the luxury vehicle he had half expected. There was something about her that didn't quite fit the profile of a casual shopper, a certain poise, perhaps, or the way the store staff had snapped to attention when she'd presented her card. Glancing at the business card in his hand, he finally turned it over. Sophia Valenti, Chief Executive Officer, Valenti Innovations. Below the title was a company logo he recognized from tech magazines and billboards around the city, one of the fastest-growing software companies on the West Coast. Henry stared at the card, then at the departing sedan, his mind racing as he helped Lily into her booster seat. He'd just invited the CEO of a major corporation to a kindergarten graduation, and somehow, against all logic, she had said yes. Sophia sat in her car, hands still on the steering wheel long after Henry and Lily had driven away. What had possessed her to offer to pay for a stranger's purchase, and then to accept an invitation to a kindergarten graduation? It was completely out of character for her carefully structured life. Yet there had been something compelling about Henry Bradley, not just his obvious dedication to his daughter, but the dignity with which he had initially refused her help. Those strong, work-worn hands that had counted out bills so carefully. the way his serious expression transformed when he smiled at his daughter. Sophia started her car, pushing these thoughts aside. She had a company to run, and dwelling on chance encounters with attractive single fathers wasn't productive. Still, she couldn't help smiling as she remembered Lily's excited recitation of her butterfly poem. Maybe she would attend that graduation after all. The following Thursday found Henry adjusting his only tie in the rearview mirror of his truck. He'd left the construction site early, changing from his work clothes in the portable restroom and rushing to pick up Lily from her after-school program. They were cutting it close, but would still make it to the ceremony on time. "Do you think Sophia will really come?" Lily asked from the back seat, already dressed in her graduation outfit with a plastic tiara clipped to her hair, a last-minute addition Henry hadn't been able to refuse. "I'm not sure, sweetheart," Henry answered honestly. "Sophia is a very busy lady with an important job." "What does she do?" Henry considered how to explain. "She runs a big company that makes computer programs." "Like a boss?" Lily's eyes widened. "The biggest boss," Henry confirmed, pulling into the school parking lot. They made their way through crowds of excited families toward the auditorium. Henry scanned the gathering but saw no sign of Sophia, tamping down an unexpected feeling of disappointment. Of course she wouldn't come. Their encounter had been a fleeting moment of kindness from a busy executive who had probably forgotten all about them by the time she returned to her corporate office. Henry found their reserved seats 2 metal folding chairs with Bradley written on a taped paper and settled in as Lily went to join her classmates. He just opened the program booklet when a soft voice spoke beside him. "Is this seat taken?" Sophia stood in the aisle, looking somehow both professional and approachable in a simple blue dress the same shade as Lily's graduation outfit. Henry noticed with surprise. "You came," he said, immediately standing. "We weren't sure if, I know you must be busy." Sophia smiled, setting her purse down. "I promised Lily I would come, and like you told her, keeping promises is important." A warm feeling spread through Henry's chest as he recalled his words to Lily at the store. "Thank you," he said simply. The ceremony was predictably chaotic, with 25 kindergartners attempting to follow directions with varying degrees of success. When Lily's turn came to recite her poem, she stepped confidently to the microphone in her blue dress, plastic tiara gleaming under the lights. Her voice rang clear through the auditorium as she described a caterpillar's transformation without a single mistake. Henry felt his eyes grow damp with pride, and when he glanced at Sophia, he was surprised to see her looking equally moved. She caught his gaze and smiled, giving him a small thumbs up. In that moment, sharing his daughter's achievement with someone who seemed to genuinely care made the burden of single parenthood feel slightly lighter. After the ceremony, they found Lily amidst the crowd of graduates. She launched herself at Henry, who lifted her high in celebration before setting her down to greet Sophia. "You came, and you're wearing blue too," Lily exclaimed. Sophia knelt to Lily's level. "Great minds think alike, and your poem was perfect, not a single mistake." "Dad helped me practice every night," Lily explained, beaming at Henry, "even when he was really tired from work." Sophia looked up at Henry with new appreciation. "That's what good dads do. Would you like to join us for ice cream?" Henry found himself asking. "It's our graduation tradition." Sophia hesitated. "I wouldn't want to intrude on your family celebration." "Please come," Lily pleaded. "They have 21 flavors and Dad lets me get 2 scoops on special days." Sophia's resistance melted under Lily's enthusiasm. "Well, how could I say no to that?" The local ice cream parlor was crowded with other families celebrating the same milestone, but they managed to find a small table in the corner. Lily proudly ordered strawberry and chocolate chip without any help, while Henry chose plain vanilla and Sophia selected mint chocolate. As they ate, Lily dominated the conversation, jumping between topics with the boundless energy of a 6-year-old. Henry occasionally tried to redirect her or remind her to let Sophia speak, but Sophia seemed genuinely charmed by the girl's enthusiasm. During a brief lull when Lily went to get more napkins, Henry seized the opportunity to speak directly to Sophia. "Thank you again for coming today. It meant a lot to Lily." "It meant a lot to me too," Sophia admitted. "I can't remember the last time I attended something so joyful." Henry studied her expression. "Your job must keep you pretty busy." "That's putting it mildly." Sophia stirred her melting ice cream. "Most days I'm lucky if I remember to eat lunch." "Valenti Innovations," Henry said. "I looked it up after we met. That's quite a company you've built." Sophia looked surprised. "You Googled me?" "Had to know who my daughter was inviting to her graduation," Henry said with a small smile. "I didn't expect the CEO of a tech empire." "Hardly an empire," Sophia replied, though her expression suggested she was pleased by his research. "But yes, it keeps me occupied." "How did you end up in our little department store that day?" Henry asked. "Seems a bit off the beaten path for someone who could probably shop on Rodeo Drive." Sophia's expression softened. "My father used to take me to that store when I was about Lily's age. It's where he bought me my first fancy dress for a piano recital. He worked 3 jobs to afford it." She paused. "When I need to clear my head, I sometimes find myself there. It reminds me of where I came from." Henry nodded, understanding completely. "My dad was the same way, worked himself to the bone to give us what we needed. I swore I'd do the same for my kids." His voice faltered slightly. "For my kid." Sophia seemed to sense the story behind his correction. "Lily mentioned her mom isn't around. Cancer. 2 years ago." Henry's response was practiced, but still carried the weight of loss. "Lily was 4. Sophia's hand moved across the table to briefly touch his. "I'm so sorry, Henry." The simple gesture and the genuine compassion in her voice loosened something in Henry's chest that had been tight for a very long time. "Thank you. We're doing okay. Some days are harder than others, but Lily keeps me going." Lily returned with a handful of napkins, breaking the moment. "Dad, can Sophia come to my ballet recital next month too? Miss Jenny says I'm going to be a tulip." Henry glanced at Sophia, embarrassed by his daughter's presumption, but curious about her response. Sophia didn't hesitate. "I would love to see you as a tulip, Lily, if your dad doesn't mind." Henry found himself once again nodding without reservation. "We'd love to have you there." As they finished their ice cream and prepared to part ways in the parking lot, Henry finally worked up the courage to ask what he'd been considering since they sat down. "Sophia, would you perhaps like to have dinner sometime? Just adults," he rushed to clarify. "Not that you're obligated at all. The dress, coming to graduation, you've already been incredibly kind." Sophia looked at him with those striking green eyes that seemed to see right through him. "Henry, I'd like that very much, but I should be honest with you. About being a CEO, I already know that part. About being a very busy CEO who hasn't been on a proper date in over 2 years, Sophia clarified. My schedule is unpredictable at best." Henry smiled. "Well, as the single father of a kindergartner with a construction job that sometimes runs nights and weekends, I understand unpredictable schedules." "Then I think we might understand each other very well," Sophia said, her expression warming. They exchanged proper phone numbers, and Henry watched her drive away with a strange mixture of anticipation and disbelief. Somehow, in the span of a week, his world had expanded to include a woman he would never have imagined meeting, let alone dating. "Dad," Lily said as they drove home, "I really like Sophia. She smells like vanilla and she listens to my whole stories without interrupting." Henry smiled at his daughter in the rearview mirror. "I like her too, Lil. Is she going to be your girlfriend?" Lily asked with the direct curiosity of childhood. "I don't know, sweetheart. We're just getting to know each other." Lily considered this seriously. "Mom would like her. She always said you need someone to make you laugh more." Henry's throat tightened at the casual mention of Claire. Lily rarely spoke of her mother so matter-of-factly. "Your mom was very smart." "So is Sophia," Lily declared with finality, then changed subjects entirely to discuss which Disney movie they should watch that night. Henry's first proper date with Sophia was nearly derailed by a burst pipe at one of his construction sites and an emergency board meeting on her end. They finally managed to meet at a quiet restaurant midway between their workplaces, both arriving slightly disheveled and apologizing profusely. "I was sure you'd cancel," Sophia admitted, smoothing her hastily changed blouse. "Not a chance," Henry replied. "I've been looking forward to this all week." The conversation flowed easily between them. Henry told her about his journey from carpenter to foreman, his dreams of eventually starting his own construction company, and the challenges of balancing work with single parenthood. Sophia shared her unexpected path to becoming a CEO, starting with a coding hobby that turned into a business she ran from her garage, eventually growing into Valenti Innovations. "I never planned to run a company with 300 employees," she confessed over dessert. "Sometimes I wake up convinced they'll all realize I have no idea what I'm doing," Henry laughed. "I feel the same way about parenting. Every night I go to bed thinking I have no clue if I'm doing this right. From what I've seen, you're doing an amazing job with Lily," Sophia said sincerely. "She's kind, confident, and obviously adores you." Henry felt warmth spread through his chest at her words. "That means a lot coming from you." As their date ended, Henry walked Sophia to her car, both of them reluctant for the evening to conclude. "I'd like to see you again," he said directly. "Maybe this weekend. Lily has a playdate on Saturday afternoon. I could be free for a few hours." Sophia smiled. "I'd like that very much. And Henry?" "Yes. I'd also like to see Lily again. I wasn't just being polite about the ballet recital." Henry studied her face in the dim parking lot lighting. "You really mean that?" "I do," Sophia confirmed. "She's wonderful, and watching you with her." She hesitated. "It's one of the things I find most attractive about you." Henry felt an unexpected surge of emotion. Since Claire's death, he dated occasionally, but those women had always seemed to view Lily as an obstacle to be worked around rather than an essential part of his life. Sophia's genuine interest in his daughter touched him profoundly. "Then how about we do both?" he suggested. "Sometime just us, and sometime with Lily too." "That sounds perfect," Sophia agreed. Their second date turned into a third, then a fourth. They developed a rhythm meeting for lunch near their workplaces, occasional evenings when Henry's neighbor could babysit, and weekend outings that increasingly included Lily. Sophia attended the promised ballet recital, bringing not only flowers for Lily, but a small toolkit for Henry after he'd mentioned needing to fix Lily's bicycle. 3 months into their relationship, Henry invited Sophia to dinner at their modest 2-bedroom apartment for the first time. He'd spent days cleaning and preparing, nervous about her seeing their humble home after he'd visited her sleek downtown condo. "Stop worrying," Sophia told him when she arrived, immediately noticing his tension. "I grew up in a place half this size with twice as many people." Henry relaxed as Sophia made herself at home, admiring Lily's artwork on the refrigerator and helping him finish preparing dinner. Lily proudly showed Sophia her room, complete with the bookshelf Henry had built and the butterfly mobile hanging from the ceiling. After Lily went to bed, Henry and Sophia settled on the couch with glasses of wine. "Thank you for tonight," Sophia said, leaning comfortably against him. "This feels more like home than my condo ever has." Henry wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You're welcome here anytime." Sophia turned to face him, her expression suddenly serious. "Henry, I need to tell you something." "That sounds ominous," he said, trying to keep his tone light despite the sudden tension. "It's about work. I've been offered an opportunity to merge Valenti Innovations with Apex Technologies. It would mean a significant expansion, but also—" She hesitated. "More responsibility, longer hours?" Henry guessed. Sophia nodded. "And potentially some travel, not constantly, but more than now." Henry was quiet for a moment, processing this information. "Is this something you want?" From a business perspective, absolutely. It's a perfect strategic partnership. She sighed. From a personal perspective, I'm conflicted. These past few months with you and Lily have been... I've never been happier, Henry. I don't want to jeopardize that. Henry took her hand. Sophia, I would never ask you to choose between your career and us. But what if it changes things? What if I can't be present the way you and Lily deserve? Henry thought carefully before answering. When Claire was sick, one of the last things she made me promise was that I wouldn't put my life on hold. That I would keep building not just houses, but a future for Lily and myself. He squeezed Sophia's hand. Part of that future is supporting the people I care about in pursuing their dreams too. Sophia's eyes glistened with unshed tears. So you think I should take the deal? I think we figure it out together, Henry said firmly. Maybe that means more weekend breakfasts and fewer weeknight dinners. Maybe it means Lily and I visit you on business trips occasionally. We adjust and adapt, just like we've been doing. Sophia leaned forward to kiss him gently. How did I get so lucky to find you in that department store? I ask myself the same question, Henry admitted, though I think Lily would say it was all her doing. Sophia laughed. She probably would. And she might be right. In the months that followed, they navigated the challenges of Sophia's expanded role and Henry's growing responsibilities at work. There were missed calls and rescheduled dates, but also surprise lunches and shared family calendars. Sophia made a point of blocking time for Lily's school events, while Henry became adept at preparing dinner that could be reheated whenever Sophia managed to break free from late meetings. 6 months after they began dating, Henry received an unexpected opportunity of his own, a chance to partner with a respected contractor on a series of eco-friendly home renovations. The project would mean more stable hours, but an initial financial investment he wasn't sure he could manage. You should do it, Sophia said without hesitation when he discussed it with her during a rare, quiet evening at her condo. It's exactly the direction you've wanted to take your career. The timing isn't great, Henry admitted, with Lily starting first grade and the upfront costs. Sophia hesitated before speaking. I could help with the financial part, as an investment with proper terms. Henry stiffened slightly. I appreciate that, but it would be a business transaction, Henry, not charity. Sophia held his gaze steadily. I believe in your skills and your vision. It would be a sound investment. Henry was quiet for a long moment. Can I think about it? Of course, Sophia replied, understanding his hesitation. Just promise you won't let pride stand in the way of opportunity. That comment stayed with Henry as he drove home later, thinking about the future he wanted to build and the example he wanted to set for Lily. By the time he picked her up from the babysitter, he had made his decision. The following evening, he presented Sophia with a carefully drafted business proposal for what he was now calling Bradley Sustainable Construction. I'll accept your investment, he told her, but only as a proper business partner, with everything documented professionally. Sophia's face lit up as she reviewed his proposal. This is impressive, Henry, very thorough. I stayed up all night working on it, he admitted with a tired smile. It shows. She signed the document without hesitation. Partner. As summer turned to fall, both their businesses thrived. Henry's first major renovation project was featured in a local magazine, bringing in more clients interested in sustainable building practices. Sophia successfully navigated the merger, expanding Valenti Innovations' reach while maintaining the company culture she had worked so hard to build. Their personal relationship deepened alongside their professional successes. Sophia became a regular presence at the Bradley household, helping with homework and learning to cook simple meals under Lily's enthusiastic tutelage. Henry kept a change of clothes at Sophia's condo and gradually added his touches to her space carpentry books on the shelves, a hand-crafted side table in the living room. 1 year after their first meeting, Henry took Sophia back to the department store where they had first met. Lily was with her best friend for a weekend sleepover, giving them rare, uninterrupted time together. Why are we here? Sophia asked, curious, as Henry led her toward the children's department. "Indulge me," he said with a mysterious smile. "I want to show you something." He brought her to the exact spot where they had first spoken, now displaying seasonal clothing instead of graduation dresses. "1 year ago today, you changed our lives by offering to help a struggling dad and his daughter," Henry said, taking both her hands in his. "You walked into our lives with kindness and have brought nothing but joy ever since." Sophia's eyes widened as Henry reached into his pocket and dropped to one knee, drawing surprised gasps from nearby shoppers. "Sophia Valenti, this past year has taught me that the most valuable things in life aren't built with tools or code, but with patience, understanding, and love. You've become essential to Lily and me. Our family doesn't feel complete without you." He opened a small box to reveal a simple but elegant diamond ring. "Will you marry me?" Tears filled Sophia's eyes as she nodded emphatically. "Yes, Henry, yes." As he slipped the ring onto her finger and stood to embrace her, applause erupted from the gathering crowd of shoppers and employees. Sophia laughed against his shoulder, whispering, "I can't believe you proposed in a department store." "Where else would I ask the woman who fell for a struggling dad buying his daughter a graduation dress?" Henry replied, holding her close. That evening, they picked up Lily early from her sleepover to share the news. Her delighted squeals and endless questions about the wedding confirmed what they already knew: their unconventional family. Born from a chance encounter and nurtured through challenges and triumphs, was exactly as it should be. 6 months later, they married in a ceremony that perfectly blended their worlds, elegant but unpretentious. With Lily proudly serving as flower girl in a dress she and Sophia had selected together. Henry's construction crew and Sophia's executive team mingled comfortably, united in their genuine affection for the couple. As they shared their first dance as husband and wife, Sophia whispered, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I hadn't gone into that store that day?" Henry pulled her closer. "I prefer to be grateful that you did. Some things are just meant to be." Sophia smiled up at him. "Like a CEO falling for a hardworking dad." "Exactly like that," Henry agreed, leaning down to kiss the woman who had turned a simple act of kindness into a lifetime of love.